Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, baby. Don't go. Don't go.
Look. Look. My notepad called many bodies. Screenshots saw plenty problems. Voice notes bag plenty hotties. Can't just talk to me like anybody. Can't just talk to me like...
Every time a door closes, another one opens. I'm still scaling our B2B SaaS in the construction industry, hoping for that big exit. But with this opportunity not going through, it leaves room for some side quests.
You got a John body.
I am unreasonably excited for this project. You see, when I first got into SaaS multiple years ago, it was extremely complex and required a lot of capital up front to even build a thing without knowing if it's even gonna work. Now, thanks to AI, the game has completely changed. A business model that was almost completely inaccessible to most is now within reach. And I think it's a great financial vehicle to build your dream life. You can do it fully online, you can reach customers all over the world, you can do it alone or with a small team, and it requires minimal capital up front. So I've set myself a challenge. I'm trying to build a micro SaaS in less than 3 months and make it into a cash flow machine that can generate enough money to live a really good life. I already have an idea in mind, a pain point that I have myself that today is solving with multiple different systems and mainly using manual processes. And I genuinely believe this is something that you guys will benefit from as well. And I want to bring you along the entire process from ideation to doing product research, product development, actually building the thing, launching it, and of course, scaling it to decent sized revenue. But I want to get you guys' input. What is the best format for this? Should I just include it in the weekly vlogs? Or should it be a separate series where I go into more depth about each step? Guys, this is some of the things that's out there. If you haven't traveled much, prioritize it. And yeah, it's gonna cost a little bit of money, but honestly, it doesn't have to be that expensive. Some of my best memories didn't cost me a dime. I've hitchhiked around Hawaii. I have fished with locals in Thailand. I've hiked some amazing peaks with amazing people. Just go on Google Flights, find a cheap ticket somewhere, stay at a hostel, sleep on a couch, hitchhike with strangers, befriend some people. And if you don't have anyone to go with, go alone. It's gonna help you build confidence, build your social skills, and you're gonna make friends all over the world.
Don't fight, I don't feel I don't stand my dreaming. Is there more like us?
Look at this. So in the culture is very important with giving gifts. So every time they visit another country, they bring a gift that represents their culture. All of these are gifts given by the other Emirates to Abu Dhabi, to the prince here. There's everything from like ceramics to paintings, rugs, even some samurai stuff over there, swords and weapons. These in particular are my favorites. These are little hats that they put on the eagles. Look at the details on these. Insane. I love culture. And I think it's so important as well. For those of you who didn't know, Sweden is a monarchy, which means that we have a royal family, a king and a queen. They don't really have any political power anymore, unless the government would be killed or would go to war. But there's a lot of people who's against us having a royal family because it costs a lot of money. I think it's a waste. Honestly, I absolutely love it. And I think it's so important with culture to unify and bring people together, like the nation. If you see here the Arabs, they're so proud of their history and heritage. And that connects them, that creates this, unanimity. And sadly, I think, I can't speak for the rest of Europe, but in Sweden I feel like we're losing that. We're almost ashamed to talk about our history or our culture. And I don't like that at all. I think it's something we should definitely be proud of. It's not a surprise that I'm a big fan of art anymore, but I'm an even bigger fan of great architecture. And this is just a masterpiece. It's the Louvre here in Abu Dhabi. Look at this, like the abstract of these cube looking things sitting in the water with this massive cupola with all this texture. Insane. I've known about this place for a long time and finally I'm gonna get to check it out.
I can't find it in myself to just walk away. I can't find it in myself to lose everything. Feel everyone's against me, don't want me to be great. Things might look bad, not afraid to look dead in the face.
So I'm back in Alserkal. Actually one of my favorite areas here in Dubai so far. So much greenery, art, good coffee spots. But I'm here for a very specific reason, which I'm gonna show you in a bit. But I'm getting a little bit tired of traveling around as I do this year. So I've decided for myself that from January forward, I'm gonna lock down a place. I'm still deciding where that's gonna be. But one thing that I do know is that from the next place I set up, I want to build an environment where it's easy to stay motivated. Here's the thing, building SaaS or building any business for that matter is incredibly hard. The amount of, yes, freeze, thank you. Yeah, the amount of hours you need to spend in is insane. So you need to figure out a way how to make that journey enjoyable, how to make the process fun. And there are many ways of doing so, but I think one really powerful way is through community, through doing it with other people. And if you have co-founders, that's great. If you don't, there's still ways to get that community.
Stop what you're doing. Oh, you're trying to stay there.
When you read in books and they tell you to do things in the book, do them. Don't actually just skip by them. There is a reason why they are in there. And if you do them, they're actually quite helpful. Yeah, it can take a little bit longer to finish the book. You have to stop and follow these exercises. But again, they're there for a reason. And you're buying a book not to complete the book. You're buying the book to actually consume the knowledge and the learnings from the book. And there is no better way to do so than actually following through on the exercises.
Yeah, I mean this. Crazy.
So we're out here, I'm currently pulling an all-nighter. It's already past 4 in the morning. I got a lot of work to catch up on, but what I'm working on right now and what I want to talk about here is the SaaS Cartel community. I've been talking about a community for a while now, and finally I've had the time And I think we've built an audience big enough here to actually create something valuable. And the reason why I'm setting this up is because I believe in the power of community, and I genuinely need this for myself. And I know that the younger me desperately would have needed this. And I've seen that I attract a certain kind of people who is just like me, who is passionate about building things almost obsessively, who want to build products that can actually provide value to the world, and it's not chasing these short-term crappy business models as dropshipping. And I definitely believe that we all could benefit of connecting with one another. So this community is not about me, it's about you, it's about all of us. It's a place we can come together, share feedback, knowledge, find co-founders. If you're in the early stages, get feedback on your pitch decks, get feedback on your product, maybe find your first users. Or if you're in a little bit later stage, get feedback on how to launch or how to grow your company, or get feedback from others who've done this before, how to systemize your companies and maximize profits, or whatever it may be. And after all, we are a bit of a rare breed. There isn't too many of us who is this passionate about building things. And we can sit on our corners and do the best we can. But if we come together, we can build something that is way more powerful. And I'm not just talking about our businesses here, which of course would, gain tremendous amount of value from this, but also in life. I want to have more people in my circle who is also passionate about building things and getting the most out of life. So down the line, I want to create some in-person events as well. But I think starting out with a community, we can see each other, we can find where people are based and connect. The challenge that I see is that a lot of people reach out to me is in very different stages. Some are just starting out, aspiring to become a founder, versus others are, way more successful than I am and come even further than I in their SaaS journey. So the tricky part here is figuring out how we can make this as valuable as possible for everyone involved. So let's get into how I see and I envision this community to actually work to make that happen. So here it is. I'm using Circle as a platform to host this community. And if you're new to this, we have a number of different space groups and spaces here on the left side. The community is free and will always be free, but there will be paid tiers inside of this. I'm going to get into that in a second. But starting at the top here, we have Start Here, where I've listed a couple of things I want you to read when you join the community. One is the welcome message and some rules for the community. And then there's a checklist of things I want you to go through once you've joined. And lastly, I'm explaining the 5 tiers. So all the groups part of the community here is going to be part of the free version. Then we're going to have one membership for people in tier 1 and 2, and another one for people in tier 3 and 4 who have access to everything. And these 5 tiers are based on the different stages you are in your career, which is one of the challenges I mentioned earlier. We see people being in such different stages of their company journey. We're trying to make this valuable for everyone, no matter how far they've come. So tier 1 is for seekers, people who is aspiring founders. They still haven't found their idea, or maybe they're looking for co-founders. Tier 2 is the builders, people who is currently building their SaaS company but haven't yet launched it. Tier 3 is the hustlers, is the people who've actually built and launched a SaaS company, but it's still pre-product market fit. They're trying to figure out their business model and how to make their company fly. Tier 4 are the scalers. They have a launched business that is working with a functioning business model and try to figure out how to scale that company. In each of these different tiers, we can have different groups of people that's on the same level, that's facing the same challenges, can discuss and help each other progress forward. If you're in a higher tier, go and engage in the lower tiers, give back to the community, help out those who are going through things that you've already figured out. In addition, we have these resources. For anyone who's joining any of the paid memberships, I will have a quick introduction call where I grade the right tier for you. I'm also going to list all the companies as part of the Cartel so we can see the power of the community here. Then we have Cartel gifts. So I'm a big fan of the burner community, and one of the guiding principles is gifting. Give what I expected to receive. And this community gets more powerful the more people engage in it. So here I want you to add whatever you can provide to the community, whatever gift you can do, whether that is your time, unique access, some inside information, or maybe a discount to your product. And the best gifts we'll put into the member perks. So hopefully we can build this out to a long list of perks for all the members. Lastly, we're going to have a number of group calls. So have a look in the event space. We're going to have a bi-weekly progress call for people in tier 1 and 2, another bi-weekly call for people in 3 and 4, where they can lift their challenges, share their progress, and get feedback from the community. Other people going through the same challenges as them. In addition to these running calls, we'll also set up special events with individual topics, whether that being how to find a co-founder, pitch deck feedback about best practices around sales, go-to-market strategies, or how to raise funds. So keep a look at in events for more events like this in the future. We also have a little leaderboard to see who's most active in the community, and none of this is set in stone. This is something that's going to evolve over time, and I'll figure out how to make this as valuable as possible. I've added a link down below so you can check it out for yourself.
Sometimes I question whether this shit matters. Putting substance into something in the world, so used to instant gratification. I found this instrumental on my phone while on vacation. Eve sent it a year ago or so. I probably heard it before, but slept on it, you know.
Coming down after what's been an absolutely incredible weekend. Both F1 and Kind Music has been on my bucket list. And honestly, Kind Music wasn't the best live. I think it attracted the wrong crowd. And the best part was actually when they left and some unknown DJ came up on stage. And only the real ravers stayed, and that's when the vibes really popped off. But I've already gotten a head start on this new project, which like I said, I'm super excited to get started on. I have built a couple of SaaS companies before, but I think since then the world has changed drastically, and now with AI, I think a business model that's been, out of reach for most is now all of a sudden definitely doable. And I give myself a challenge. I'm gonna try to build and launch this project using mainly no-code tools before bringing on the developers. And the reason for that is, I want to challenge myself to learn in this field, but also so I can build in such a way that you guys can follow along and do the same thing, launch your own company. So I highly recommend you, if this resonates with you, to join the community. And it's not just for people building SaaS companies. I mean, if you're watching this, it's likely that you also want to get more out of life, whether that is business or travel, experiences, create things, and of course meet fantastic people. And I think a reason why I'm so passionate about communities like this is because I met some incredible people. Actually, I met Benjamin through an online community, who is now one of my best friends. And for those of you who are building SaaS companies, I'm now both taking on this project, trying to go from zero to something, so I'm gonna need help and be able to assist you guys in that process. But I'm also still scaling our 7-figure SaaS company in the construction industry, and I would love to connect with people that's in the same stage where we can learn from each other, inspire each other, and just help each other win in all faculties of life. So that's it for this week. Peace.